what I'm doing, I hope you can see, because each piece is being measured and placed in the right position, as I'm shaping, I'm just taking down these corners, all the corners, right down to the glue line, and as I get down to the glue line, it reveals the actual shape that I planned on my computer. So that's how I get the contours. So the glue lines actually act as a guide and give you the contours, but ultimately, as I get closer to it, I'll just be looking at it and I'll do it by eye. As far as I'm concerned, if it looks good to the eye, then it's correct. So I'm not going to be too fussy about that curve. I'm just going to go down to those glue lines and then smooth it out and see what it looks like. I'm using the turbo plane now with the leveling guide and the power carver, and what I've done is I've set it to its very minimum, so that it's allowing me to carve a dome. So it's giving me a very smooth finish, and I'm able to finish this all off. So I'm gonna do all the external shaping now with this. Beauty of that is it gets very good dust extraction, but also then I can put the sanding disc on it and I'll get that really nice and smooth on the outside. Now to mark out this edge, just to get this straight, what I've done is I've got a sheet of plastic which I've just put it lining up with this edge, and it'll just give me a nice line along the edge here, which I'll trim all the wood to, so we get a nice straight edge. That side. So most of the shaping is complete now, and I've done the rough sanding. There's still more to do, but now it's time to address the elephant in the room, which is some of these big gaping holes here. Okay, now you probably noticed that I like to use really wood that other woodworkers probably wouldn't bother with. I really like to recycle stuff, and this is marri, or commonly called red gum, and it often has these pockets for sap, etc. And I consider them features. So I'm going to be filling these holes with a mixture of epoxy glue, sawdust, and perhaps a black tint, so that it's really nice and black. So I think that'll make a nice contrast, and it'll come up really good, I think. So here we are with rubber gloves on. So I'm going to just get some epoxy and hardener. This is, again, very slow setting hardener. 2 of those and 2 of these. That's the hardener. Up you come. Now I've not tried putting a stain in this before, but it should work, I think. So this is a black pigment. So here I've got the dust that I've collected, and I want to mix it up fairly thick so that it doesn't fall out. Sanding's complete, and what we've decided to do now is to stain the outside with a stain called Black Japan. So we're ready to put the finish on it now. We've put Black Japan on the outside, so I think that's worked pretty well. Now I'm going to try something I've not tried before. This is a product from Feast and Watson called Wipe On Poly. So apparently it's an oil-based wipe on polyurethane that goes on like an oil, so you can apparently rub it on. I've not tried it before, but I'm going to try it on this particular piece because they do recommend it for furniture. And as usual, this marry wood comes up beautifully.